Welcome to No Small Roles. This is the show where I speak with fellow actors about their careers and about some of their smaller roles in movies and TV, and how these roles are in fact not at all small for the actors who play them. Now, today's guest is the one and only Shahjehan Khan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lyons. Can I ask a quick question? Are you singing in that theme song?
No, one of the guys that, like I was telling you about the StreamYard, he created the song.
I was really hoping it was your voice, because it could be your voice.
I'm too shy. I don't sing like you. But I got to tell everyone, you are one of the kindest, most humble, good-humored, crazy talented actors that I know. You've done podcasting. You're a voice actor. I don't know if you knew this, so I'm telling you.
I was going to say, go on as long as you want. This is great.
I gotta pretend. What else did you do? You're in a video game, and we'll get to that. But you're such a talent, and I'm so excited to talk to you today. And you're in a punk band.
This is true. And I'm about to, yes.
Wait, well, you told me, you said you're about to, can you say what you're about to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been asked by my favorite band, Pile, to fill in on guitar for their entire North American, European, and UK tour. So I'm about to embark on a 3-month, 60 concert extravaganza with my literal favorite band. So,
that is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Wait, you're married, right?
I am. Can you believe it?
No, I mean, that's why I had to ask. I'm like, let's just get this out of the way. How did that? No.
Oh, Lauren.
No, but is she going with you?
She'll come for some of the dates here and there. We have a very old cat also. So unfortunately, Momo is almost 20 years old.
Oh my God.
And she has all the, the old lady cat problems.
That's a really old cat.
She's very old. So, I mean, Lauren's going to come. She also incidentally likes the band. My wife's taste in music is much cooler than mine. So,
is it her favorite band, or just she kind of?
It's not her favorite. No, but it was. I think our third date, I believe, is the term that they're still using. Was to see this band, Pile. So they're a band from Boston. I'm actually old friends of theirs for my previous band, the Kominas. We kind of started around the same time, playing house parties and shows, and so they've since become kind of like one of the bigger indie bands from Boston.
So this was not random. They knew you existed. They weren't like, that guy looks good.
No, they picked me up. They was, I was just walking around on the Mass Pike, and they were like, that dude,
that guy,
maybe he could carry a guitar. Who knows?
He looks hungry. Let's give him a job. Wait, but you, and I'll get into all the other stuff, but do you work? I mean, I know a lot of actors, performers work other jobs. When I first met you, I believe you did.
I did at that time. I was in the process of quitting that job when we first met. Yes. I have a master's in behavioral health. I've been sober for 14 years. Yeah, I know. Fucking whatever. Can I swear? I just swore.
I encourage it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
So I'm, so I got sober 14 years ago. And after that, a lot of people want to get into, the service part of stuff and helping others. And so initially I thought because I'm such a great guy, like you said.
You are such a great guy.
I wanted to, influence other people, but so I wanted to initially be a social worker. I got after dropping out of college many, many, many times, I eventually went back and got a master's in community social psychology. And I was working in behavioral health research when you and I met. And it was a great gig. It was just, it kind of just was too much. I couldn't do all the creative stuff I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, so I was in the process of quitting because a friend had asked me if I wanted to do a podcast about my life story. And he was like, dude, I can pay you for maybe a year. So as, folks like you and I are very used to jumping into things, I'm sure, without having any kind of exit strategy or whatever. And just,
that is the business.
So I was in the process of quitting that job. And since then I have somehow scraped together a living, man. I do audiobooks while that's still a career. God knows how long, that's going to be a thing.
AI is going to take over your job.
Dude, they already are. And then, like the last.
Did you get the AI feedback? I heard people getting, that sounds like the worst. You get feedback from AI saying, you need to fix this word.
Like in your own voice, though? That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know. But I have another friend that does like audiobooks, and she's like, yeah, I get like a list of things I need to correct or do again from AI.
Oh, well, it's not from AI. So it's like a software. So the old way is to send you MP3s and like send you a PDF file with all the things you have to correct. Now they have, I mean, it's like a combination of the two. Like there will be a humanoid kind of like double checking stuff, you know, and saying
Okay,
there are actually errors. But
for now.
it's for now. It's gotten pretty good. Because at the end of the day, why would you pay me? You know, unfortunately.
True. No, no, why? Yeah, I mean, you got a cat to take care
With
of.
our
You
lives.
should just stay home with the cat.
Naturally. Yeah.
I want to tell people how we met. So 2020,
Absolutely.
there was this. I don't know if you heard about it, or our audience probably hasn't. There was a pandemic,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there wasn't a
it was
whole lot.
small global inconvenience.
I think it was just
Yeah.
around the Boston area,
Yeah, I
as
think so.
far as I know.
Yeah, just
So there
Somerville, really.
were not a whole lot of jobs. Both of us were given an opportunity to be background in this big movie
Yes.
called Don't Look Up.
Mhm.
And I generally, and absolutely no shame, I respect anyone that wants to do background. It's not something that I super enjoy.
Mhm.
But I was like, there's nothing going on. It's a way to make some money. And they say this scene, we're in this situation room with Meryl Streep and
Mhm.
Leo DiCaprio.
And let
I'm
me
like,
just set the scene. Me not being someone who works as much as Ian, especially not in 2020, I hadn't done shit. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll take this fucking job. This
it
sounds great.
sounded cool. It
Yeah.
did sound really cool. And so, and they said to me, I don't know if they said to you, they're like, on this movie, a lot of people are getting bumped up and getting lines.
Yes,
You're going to
definitely.
play the vice president to Meryl Streep. She's
Yeah.
going to talk to you and
Yeah.
you'll get lines. It's
Yeah.
that. So
That's
yes,
basic. Yeah, for sure.
here we are. You can
Yep.
see Shahjehan back there, and
Uh-huh.
I'm right under her elbow. But
Yep.
that was a cool day on set.
It was, except for when I ended up getting COVID on that set. I
shoot.
don't know if you knew this story. So it was remember, it was a two-parter, right? They did the first half of so this was a time where
Yes.
you had to sequester for 8 days in a hotel before you even got
During
to set.
Christmas, during the holidays.
During the holidays. And they did the first part, you know, in whatever, Christmas. And then the next month, they were going to do another angle, I think, of the same scene.
Yes.
And so we were all invited back to sequester for another 8 days.
They needed us back.
They did. That's when I got COVID for the first time in the extras hotel, because some of the loser people that we worked with were not behaving.
The rules.
They broke the rules, or I don't know, maybe I remember ordering like a branzino fish, because I don't know, like I was getting like, we got like a pretty good amount of money or whatever to just chill and do nothing. So I was like, I'm gonna go, but I don't know, maybe I got it from the delivery person, so I shouldn't just blame all of our friends.
You're blaming the delivery
But then
person.
they kicked me out of this movie. It was really bad, man. This was before any of the vaccines.
And we were so covered on that set.
Dude, I know. And then they wouldn't even let me stay for another, like, to finish out the week. I had nowhere to go. My poor wife was finishing her PhD. And
oh my God.
It was 100 and I'm sorry, it was like below 18 below. And I have like 100
below.
Yeah, I meant to say I had like 103
Everyone
fever
was dead.
or whatever. But yeah, so that's how, and basically I assumed that I was going to be totally cut because of that and everything, and I had no, you know, whatever. So it was
the scene is a split second in the movie, like that frame of us, I think, is all.
Oh yeah,
that's
but we spent like a whole day with, and I don't know about you, but it was pretty cool for me to just like hang out with all these crazy actors.
So cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that second day either. I don't know if I told you.
Oh no.
I booked a job and my agent's like, you got this job on the Michael Che show. It's a really fun scene. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to screw these people if I'm not there, because I'm sitting right between Leo and Meryl. That's going to screw them up. But I'm like, I got to take the, you know, the speaking role that pays a lot more money. Yeah. And so I did it.
It's good you did that, because actually when I found out I had COVID, the first thing I was going to do was try to find you and make out with you and give you COVID. So,
oh my God, I'm glad you didn't. I mean, not that I don't want to make out.
No, I know. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Totally. Well, sorry that didn't work out.
Yeah, it's all right. Next time.
Okay. I mean, if there is a next time. Now, people know you from some pretty cool projects since this. And like I said, you are so humble. Like you said, you were working this other job at the time that we did.
I had never booked anything, really. And that was the first thing. I mean, first like major thing I ever booked.
You were so
in my life.
Assuming, you were so reserved.
I had not booked anything for, I don't know, 10 years, 7-10 years or something like that. So
we talked a little bit, but I was just like, okay, this is cool. It's this businessman wanting to try extra work during the pandemic. So I'm like, oh,
you
what a
thought I was a
nice.
businessman? Oh my
Well,
God,
you were just
that's
so reserved, and I just had no idea. And then
the
after,
vagrant that I truly was.
I didn't know you were in a punk band. You were in a huge punk band. And then not long after this, you booked Succession.
Yep.
And you did it. You've done a ton of indies, a lot of shorts. You were in this movie called Beware of the Night Nurse. You did Money Game, Aftermath, which was a big Netflix movie recently. Deli Boys, recurring in Deli Boys, and I want to talk more about that. And The Walking Dead, Dead City. So things have really, since Succession, blown up for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know better than anybody what this whole thing is, and I'm just like along for the ride, dude. And I think for me also, just because I still do a lot of music too and other things, like I do lots of different stuff. So for me, like and I do produce podcasts and things too. And so like, and because I did, my previous band, like we did get to do some cool things and stuff. So I feel very fulfilled artistically already in many ways. So for me, the acting stuff is super cool and it's awesome, but it's like fun. There's no pressure, in the way that in my 20s, like I was like, oh man, the band's got to make, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm not driven and ambitious and like thankful for all the cool, insane shit that has happened the last few years. But I think it's like helped to keep me grounded.
You seem so ready for it. And like you said, you don't really stress for these opportunities. You're happy to have them. And you look so relaxed and in those roles, which isn't always easy to do. It just looks like you're so natural.
I mean, it's because I don't really know what I'm doing, Ian. I didn't go to school for like, so I really don't, other than, doing the stuff. Like I don't have a process or a method in that sense. And I'm not like talking shit about it or whatever, but it's just, that's not, I don't know. Like, I don't know how else to approach it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's good. It doesn't, you're not bogged down in all of the, maybe some of I mean, it's obviously important to learn technique and everything, but you're not bogged down in trying to shoehorn that into your natural ability.
No, I'm just doing things until people tell me I do something wrong and to do it better. So,
well, I want to just dive right into.
So here's what you're doing wrong.
Well, this is what you're doing wrong.
Okay.
This is, I mean, I like to delve right into sort of like the heavier question. I actually don't even really. How do I ask this of you? This is.
Oh, go for it. Oh, this is. I'm very excited to hear it.
You're sure?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
This is. It's kind of heavy. Sometimes I start with this question, but do you prefer grilled cheese with or without tomato?
Oh, with tomato. Come on.
Okay, that didn't even hit you in like a hard way. That just it came
right
out.
This is this natural process we just talked about.
There it is again. Look, everybody, he just answered the question with tomato. So you wouldn't eat it without tomato?
I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it without tomato.
Okay.
I'm just saying that if you're a decent human being, you would put a tomato in it.
So those times I decide, which happens to not have tomato on it, I'm not decent. That's what you're saying.
You go back to sleep and wake up and start your day over, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is one. Well, goodbye.
Yeah. All right.
No, I'm staying. I'll stay. Okay. So you're obviously a very intelligent guy. You got your master's. It took you a while to do it after dropping out of school 400 times, but you got it.
I did.
I think I've seen pictures of you. Do you wear glasses?
I do.
Okay. So you're really smart, obviously.
Yeah. Just like you.
No, well, this is just a prop.
Okay.
So if you're this intelligent, you're going on the road for several months, leaving behind your wife and your really old
She's
cat.
very intelligent. She's a neuroscientist. She's the real smarty pants.
Okay, so
I exist in her house and her life. Do
you know how I know she's really smart without you telling me that?
You Googled her? Although there's really not that much about her on the internet.
No, you just told me she's not an actor.
Correct.
So why are you
give two shits? No, not she's very supportive, but she's the polar opposite. She's not social. I mean, she can do like one thing. She
talks to the cat.
Yeah. She can do like one thing a week with humans and then needs her alone time. Whereas me, after a couple of days of just being alone, I'm just like, I got to talk to somebody.
I'll go get COVID and go home.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you, obviously, she's intelligent. She's a neuroscientist.
Yeah.
You wear glasses, so
Yeah.
you are almost as smart as she. So why are
Basically,
you an actor?
I mean, I couldn't get into science school,
Is
basically.
that really
Yeah.
it? That's not it. No, why are you? Like, well, I mean, obviously you're
Why?
a performer with the music and everything, but why
I
would
mean,
you
I
choose
think
to do it?
I always did as a kid. I did plays. I mean,
Okay.
I'm always like, people are like, when did you start? I was like, basically, I just started making fun of my aunts and uncles and like family members and community members, and I would put on little shows. And I was very good at imitating people. I think
Okay.
that's probably the first indication of. But then I also, in terms of performance, yeah, like I played piano very young and stuff, and so I always needed attention, man. I
Is
was
that what it
always
is?
I think so. I was always a little insecure. I don't know, but also like, yeah, it's just a performing is just a part of, me, and acting is one way to do it, and music has been
Is
too. I
it
used to
in your
figure skate.
family?
No, no,
So
no,
it's
no,
just a
no,
way for
no.
you to kind of stand out or make your
Yeah,
observations in your
exactly. A way
family?
for me
Okay.
to, give them anxiety and, worry that, I should have like a real job or whatever. But no, it's not. Since I definitely have, I mean, like my sisters were musical.
Okay.
They played instruments and stuff, but in terms of no, not in my immediate family. There's really, everybody's just kind of, decent member of society, contributing, and I just sort of came along, and
I'm glad you did.
me too.
So before we continue, there's a segment coming up that I like to call the kiss and tell, and it's where people share a behind the scenes story of something awful on set that happened to them or something wonderful or inspiring. In one word, can you tease what your kiss and tell will be about?
Um, oh boy. How about, does it have to be like something that happened on set, or can it be something like
It
before? Can
it
it
can
be
be
like,
some
can it be
well,
audition related from
yeah,
back in the day?
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Okay. Um uh uh Stoner.
Stoner. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to continue with okay, so you said you were performing, you did plays and stuff when you were younger and
Yeah.
making fun of the family or doing imitations, now making fun. What was the first thing that happened? Was it the band where you like truly found your footing and like this is what was that the thing?
I think actually technically it was a school play. It was in the 7th grade, like the
Okay.
first play I auditioned for. It was this show, a musical, with
Okay.
the name was On Broadway. Very,
On
on.
Broadway. Is that from that
It's
show? No,
no, I
maybe
don't
not.
remember.
All right.
The lead character was this guy Moss Rose. It's literally about this theater director who's trying to put on a musical, and he's kind of like down on his luck. So I like got the lead role in my middle school, and Linda Potter, the music director, like basically just like told my parents, she's like, "Listen, your son, you got to tell him to keep doing this. He's really good at."
Oh, that's amazing.
So I think maybe that's the first thing that I remember. And then after that, definitely guitar. Like I
How
started.
did
Oh,
before I enter,
yeah, yeah.
how did your teacher or director telling your parents that? How did that strike them? Were they like, "Oh, cool, we should encourage this and support
Yeah,
this"?
so actually my parents are the reason that I, do all the things I did. They're the ones that supported me, especially specifically my mom.
Yeah.
So my dad is a huge fan of music and stuff, but when it comes to enabling my like creativity, my mom
Mhm.
is the one, that like took me to lessons and stuff, and was the one that really like took that stuff to heart. That I think, even though maybe they, like a lot of parents, didn't have a frame of reference that this could be something that somebody might do professionally or something like that, like
Sure.
it became very early on, like I became the bragging rights for my parents, and I think continue to be.
I think we
So
all
yeah,
hopefully are that to
hopefully,
some degree for
hopefully.
our parents.
Yeah, yeah, if we're not, serial killers. I
Well,
suppose that's yeah,
we
I
don't
mean, that
brag
could be a
about
different kind
that.
of, yeah, I mean, it depends what kind of parent
No,
you
we can
are, I
be
guess.
both.
We
Just
could. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
in the front of acting as you do.
Absolutely.
So then, okay, the band. How does the
Yes.
band come about? And tell us about the band.
Sure. The band is called the Kominas, Kominas. So after dropping out of college, so leaving high school, I did start, I started playing guitar and stuff, and then I was in a fabulous cover band in high school called Protocol. Shout out
Okay.
to Kevin, Eric, and Chris. We just did Weezer,
Kevin, Eric, and
Incubus.
Chris.
Weezer, Incubus, and Tool covers. That was like our thing.
That's amazing.
But then
Okay.
after high school, I had a lot of mental health stuff, depression, anxiety, like cannabis addiction, like you wouldn't believe. And I don't know you, maybe you would believe it. And then
I know people. I believe it. I
Sure.
believe it.
Yeah. So like somehow, being in and out of mental health treatment stuff, I landed back at home with my parents after an unsuccessful first attempt at college. And I ended up at the local commuter school in Lowell, UMass Lowell.
Okay.
And I ran into an old friend from my youth, this kid Basim, who I knew, like our parents knew each other in the Pakistani community in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like a goth kid. I was like, as I said, stoner, whatever, that rock person. And we sort of started to ditch classes together and then started this kind of like, and it was a post 9. So this is 2003 or 4. So post 9/11 era.
Yeah.
We're both brown Muslim dudes, still very much. I mean, not too dissimilar from the crazy shit that's happening right now, but
oh god.
But like we started to kind of like naturally, as an artist, you're writing about your worldview and stuff, and like so we started this like punk band, which drew inspiration from like Sex Pistols and Clash, and and we put out a couple of songs on MySpace, got attention all very quickly. We were, before we knew it, we were in like Rolling Stone magazine, on the front page of CNN, different things. And before we even had an album, like people wanted to write articles about us. And
was it intentional on your part? Or were you like, we'll just put this up? It's something we're doing.
I mean, we did it for ourselves. We were making definitely we wanted to like be a band, and we knew we had something for sure. But but I don't think anybody can predict that. But we were kind of like, in hindsight, what we were doing was like building community and like, just talking about the stuff that was relevant to us, but also, making kind of cool, fun music, and so it all just kind of, it actually we got a lot of momentum really quickly. We ended up being subjects of a documentary film. And it became my life, like for almost 15 years, off and on, like that's what I did. That's what I wanted to do. We got to tour the world, even though we were never on like a major label. We got to like do all sorts of insane things, play.
How amazing.
And make some cool stuff that I'm really proud of, and we're all still friends. We don't do as much anymore, but all of us are still doing other kinds of music.
But never say never will, because I think you guys did get together.
We just did. We had our 20th, a 20-year anniversary / sort of reunion last
which
December
I missed
in
again.
New York. Yeah, it's okay though. Pyle's coming to the whole country, so you better. I'll send you the.
Is Pyle okay? And what kind of music is Pyle?
Pyle is like melodic heavy rock, symphonic kind of.
I'll go with my son.
Please bring your son. Yeah, Connecticut is at the tail end, but I'll send you the whole schedule.
What, Connecticut's not first? Oh my god, my dog's gonna unplug my computer. No.
Oh no.
Hold on, no. Rebel, go.
First
he's like caught up in my wires. Get over here.
Oh no. First one is Portland, Maine. And then on the way back of the US leg, it'll be like Hamden. I'll send you the whole thing.
Is that the state in Portland?
Portland, Maine. No, it's Space Gallery. You know Space?
Okay, I don't know. There's a cool place called Space Ballroom in New Haven, but
that's where we're playing. That's
a great venue. It's so cool and intimate.
Yeah,
I'm gonna play a song from you guys, not the whole song. It's a very misleading title, unless I've misunderstood. But you're not.
Oh man, I just got so nostalgic.
It's so good. You guys are really great. There's other songs I preview when checking you guys out. And
thank you. Oh man, that was such a fun time. We shot that in Detroit. I remember now.
Why? Was you on tour? Like,
yeah.
How do you?
Yeah, we were on tour, and then oh man, what I just saw most of my dudes just last weekend. So at the party that I got COVID again for the 5th time. So yeah.
You need to stop getting COVID.
I really do.
Do you foresee a future with these guys and maybe going back and doing another...
I don't know about a tour, but yeah, we'll definitely play shows here. Everybody wants to, it's after having gone through all the band stuff that you can go through, with a group of
Was there
fellow white guys.
melodrama?
I mean, no, not just not in that. Just it's just tough,
Okay.
man. It's being in a band and trying to, it's like a marriage with your best friends, and everybody,
And being on the road for that
yeah,
long
yeah,
and
yeah. It's tough, but because we're oldies now, and I think we're all
come
just very
on.
grateful because look, at the end of the day, who gets to do that kind of thing? And
No, it's
you
amazing.
dream of like whether it's acting or whatever, like we just want to leave some kind of legacy so someone gives a shit about us after we die, I assume. I don't know. And like to be able to have created something like that
Yeah.
actually we know for a fact like served influenced other kids like us to start bands, or it like
Yeah.
it helped people deal with fucking news headlines or something, you know what I mean? So that's like because it was like a quote unquote political or whatever you want to say, like, so I'm just very enormously grateful that I got to be
Have
able
you
to do that.
gotten like direct? I mean, I'm sure you have like direct mail or notes
Oh
of people
god,
just
yeah.
saying thank you so
Oh,
much.
to this day, man. Yeah, no, it's like and because we're this sort of indie thing, definitely maybe with whether it's and not even just South Asians or Muslims or whatever, but like
Mhm.
people be like, oh yeah, I remember the Kominas, like we made a little impact, and it's
That's
pretty cool.
so
I
amazing.
remember being in Pakistan and people being like a couple people were like, oh yeah, that was really cool to like see like Pakistani Americans, so it's just like
Did
cool.
you perform in Pakistan?
Not with that band, and the band was not all Pakistani. There was a couple of us
Okay.
that were, and a couple that weren't always, or most of the time. But I did live there for a year. I was a session musician with other bands and artists there and stuff. And so
And what was that experience like living there for a year?
it was my eat, pray, love year, where I wanted to find myself
And did
as many.
you?
I don't know. At the time I think I lost myself further. I was definitely not sober yet. But looking back on it, yes, it was very valuable. I was able to build a relationship with the place that I'm, from, whatever,
Yeah.
that was independent of my family.
But you're a Massachusetts boy.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a mass hole through and through.
okay.
Don't let this non-Boston accent.
I have not seen
I'm
an
from the burbs.
ounce of your
I'm from the
massholeness.
burbs. Yeah, yeah. And I shouldn't lie. I'm fucking from Boxborough, Massachusetts. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I see that.
yeah,
That I can see.
I know. I know.
So you said there was a documentary done
Yeah.
on you guys in I guess in the shadow of 9/11 and everything and all the stuff that was in the news. And I can't, I mean, have things necessarily gotten better or
I
kind of
think they're
faded?
worse, to be honest with you. Now, I mean, it's weird because, like, I would say politically, I feel things are, if not as bad, worse. But
Yeah.
in terms of the thing that is better is that I think in the last 15, 20 years, like more people from the margins are making stuff. And so we
Yeah.
are not, like it's not, like at the early aughts, like we were maybe the only band of brown people that a lot of people like growing up for me, like my idols were like Tony Kanal from No Doubt, or like or like learning that like, oh man, the dude from Explosions in the Sky is like he might be a Pakistani, so it's like there was so few, and this is I'm sure many,
Representation.
sure, yeah, in whatever, and it's not just me, or it's not just for,
Of course.
but yeah, so I think that I have like I don't have the people always like how people are like is this a conscious thing? You just kind of make the stuff you're gonna make, and like you talk about if it's the art is true and real, like you're gonna make it, and yeah, just because like I'm about to tour in a band with a bunch of white guys, like I'm still me, like just because
Yeah.
at the forefront, it's not whatever. But jokingly, I'm like, yeah, so just like maybe let's make a little extra time at the border, like because we have like 2 border crossings and stuff. I did get my global entry approved literally yesterday, so
Oh,
I don't know,
good.
maybe stuff. But yeah,
Congrats.
so thank you. Easiest exam of my life. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, I think that like these are very dark times,
Yeah.
and I feel like I would have thought that maybe it wouldn't be the case now. And sadly, I was hoping that this stuff isn't relevant anymore, but unfortunately it is. But artists are going to just make art. Like, what else can you do?
And thank goodness you had that outlet to kind of express yourself and kind of
Yeah.
maybe even distract yourself as well. Obviously, you don't want to disengage your brain from all the awful things that are
Yeah.
going on in the world.
But, you know, in 2003, I could have never imagined that I could be on a show like Deli Boys. You know what I mean? Like it was a far off
that it would
fantasy.
ever exist. Yes.
Yeah. So like at the same time, that's out there, and that's pretty wild, you know.
I want to get to that in a second, but I want to, because you said from Don't Look Up, you got that opportunity to host this podcast talking about your past. And I
Yeah.
want to play a brief clip of that and then just talk about it for a minute.
Of course, thank you.
No, thank you.
It's the summer of 2008. I'm in Pakistan, and I'm crying. I'm in Lahore, the capital of the Pakistani Punjab province, because my indie band that started on MySpace was now the subject of a feature-length documentary. We were in the midst of shooting in all sorts of incredible locations, including Sufi shrines, gorgeous rooftops overlooking ancient Islamic architecture, and even our own apartment, where we were throwing punk shows and having nightly jam sessions. Although I'd been going to Pakistan to see family since childhood, this particular trip felt different. I'd left a pretty dismal life back home in Massachusetts as a college dropout, and now I was doing something a little bit daring. I was in my early 20s and the co-founder of a so-called Muslim punk band that was starting to gain a small but significant reputation back in the States. We had a lot to say about a lot of stuff.
It's what's called Sharia law in the USA.
And people were paying attention to us.
We are the Kominas.
Muslim Bollywood punk. Hard to picture perhaps, but it exists.
The reason I'm crying, though, is because I'm staring at a portrait of my maternal grandfather, my Nana, and I'm supposed to give an interview about him for the documentary. Me, the band, and the film crew are all standing in the main courtroom of the Lahore High Court, because my Nana was the mayor of Lahore in 1955. The way my mom tells it, he was sort of a legend.
This is I haven't listened to the whole thing, but this is really beautiful work and very moving.
You haven't spent 7 hours listening to the whole series, Ian. What the hell?
I know, I'm not a good friend, but give me time. Next pandemic, I'll do it. No,
Thanks for doing all this research, man. I really appreciate it.
No, you're just like, you're so multifaceted and crazy talented. And I just wanted to kind of give everyone a little bit of taste of what you're about as an artist. And then maybe they can also see that you're an okay human from watching this.
Yeah.
Maybe. What did doing that podcast mean for you? Was that part of your discovery process, or did it just mean, a paycheck and getting me out of my previous job?
It was a really wonderful experience. It's really the only thing I've written. You know, I've started to kind of get into some writing, you know, filmically speaking, here and there slowly.
Yeah.
But it was it was a really cool culmination, I think, of like me at that time. It just was a really cool way to look back the whole process. You know, and it wasn't just me; it was like a team of folks. I did the most of the like narrative writing of my stuff, but you know, we had a whole team of researchers and stuff, and yeah, it was just a nice way to put everything into perspective that I've been through, and I did get to do some really incredible stuff, and you know, learn new things. Like I learned there'll be a part in the series where I learned that my mom actually always wanted to play guitar when she was a kid. I never knew that until I interviewed her. And like I got to talk to on the last episode a Muslim therapist, you know, about and just like reaffirm certain things. And I got to talk to like another guy who ended up being drafted in the army and ended up in like, you know, Iraq and Afghanistan, and he was my age, you know, and then you know, and so and then I got to talk to a friend of mine who's a prominent actor too, and yeah, so each episode had its own theme, and it was just like, again, just I'm so lucky to have been able to make something like that, and to just be like you said, like it's a thing I can just give to be like, hey, you want to learn about me? Here's like a pretty cool, like well-designed, you know, audio experience.
But after they watch this,
right. This is the first thing I will get on the little when you
this
do
the most important thing you've ever done.
When you do the iPhone, you know, hugging thing that people do to
Oh
get
yeah,
each
the
other's
bump
contacts,
thing.
I'll make
Yeah.
sure that this is the first thing that comes
It
up.
better be.
I'll hack the iPhone mainframe.
I will know if you do this
Sounds good.
or not.
Yeah, because you'll
Wait,
get
but how?
notifications.
You said that a friend asked you to do it. How? Like no one's ever said, "Hey, Ian, I want to hear a podcast of your life." It's not that interesting.
He's so we had grown up together. I don't work for the company Brufelion Media anymore, but
Okay.
we grew up in the same community. We weren't close in that sense, but like our parents were friends. We always ended up at the same dinner parties growing up, and we'd been sort of following each other's careers. He was in journalism and the news and stuff, and he was starting this company, and this was going to be the flagship sort of project. So he asked, and first he interviewed me on a show that he had started called American Muslim Project, and then he sort of pitched me this idea, and the timing was just such that pandemic was happening, and I had,
and the fact that you were good at it too as a writer,
I mean,
and your
I
voice
guess.
acting is just so not even acting. It's just like being sincere, coming across as real when you're reading something is not as easy as you make it sound.
For sure, it was all that was my best acting. It's all fake.
No, I know the rest is kind of mediocre, and I want to get to that.
Yeah. No, I grew up in a private school in Kuwait, so yeah, it was fake.
Liar. Such a liar. So it's called King of the World, and
which is what my name
Pakistani
means.
American Muslim. Really?
Shahjehan means king of the world.
Why didn't they just call it Shahjehan?
I don't know.
It's because there's got to be other things called King of the World, and people it's probably hard to find.
There was another. I think there was one, but it like the podcast didn't. It wasn't really any major thing, so we just took it. It's actually, but yeah, it worked out.
Okay, everyone seek it out on and they can find it in
everything, whatever you use.
Okay,
yeah, it's there.
King of the World, a Pakistani American Muslim.
Boom.
So then, after this, you get some acting gigs. I'm going to play a little montage of scenes, and then I want to talk about each of these.
Oh, you made a montage?
A little bit. It's just that itty bitty thing.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's under a minute. And these are just pieces of scenes.
The kind of wine that separates the connoisseurs from the weekend Malbec morons.
Keep away from this man, Nate.
Keep away from
Back.
you.
No, foul news demon.
You're the foul demon. Nice to see you, man. Good one. Fucking asshole.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Still got your phone?
Yeah.
If anyone asks, he threw it over the side.
What are you even doing, man? You're gonna get people killed.
Fuck off!
Okay.
Man, fuck off!
Ali Sahir, Malik of Distro. He interfaces with all our brick and mortar fronts. He once murdered a guy's face with a brick on Front Street.
Please, can you use a coaster on this table? It's an antique.
I got all this at a hospital, but what I was really looking for was pills.
Old shit's better than no shit. So.
You're talking like antibiotics, yeah?
Yeah, sure, whatever you're looking for, but it's just a story.
You didn't just book anything. You booked some of the biggest things. And like Succession.
It was the first TV job.
It was the show.
Yeah. It was my fucking favorite show, and I jumped in my car without even reading the offer carefully, didn't pack enough, showed up for what I thought was one day of filming with like 2 days of clothes, ended up being there for a week.
Bring me to how, so obviously you had not booked a job really before this in a big show.
Yeah.
How did you, so you got an agent? How did that happen? What led you here?
Sure. So I had a wonderful agent in Boston, Tim, at Model Club for 6-7 years, I think, at that point. And what happened is that the first thing I really booked was after Don't Look Up was the movie Aftermath. And that same summer, a Lifetime movie called Murder at Blackthorn Manor. Those two things happened. And then I basically asked him, I was like, hey, like, should I get a manager now? Like, how do you, and then I started asking actor friends, like, can I have your manager? Or like, what do you even do?
It's so awkward.
Like, how, it is.
Yeah.
And also, but also doubly because I like don't fucking care. So I'll just be like, yeah, dude, what do I do? So he just happened to be talking to this woman named Melissa Young. And he was like, why don't I set up a meeting for you? She probably won't take, one of the whole like chicken and egg things. Like you don't have the experience or whatever, but she can maybe advise you. She just decided on a whim. She was just, she has like a few booking period or signing periods during the year. And it just happened to be the tail end of her fall one. I think this was September or something like that. And she was like, let's go. I'll take it,
You're like, all right.
And then a month later, after actually a couple of callbacks and holds, Succession was the first booking. And I lost my fucking
Were
mind.
there several auditions?
Yeah, so I did like maybe for Succession specifically. Yeah,
no, just in general for a lot for.
There was probably like shows like what were they? Equalizer. I think a couple of Law and Order ones. That M. Night Shyamalan's the previous one, Knock at the Cab. Like I started to get the ones that you can't without like a real manager. That kind of stuff. So other than the only auditions I was really getting were every now and then here in Boston. What would come through Boston Casting or that kind of thing. So then Melissa was the one that I started to like actually use my Actors Access thing and all that. So yeah, that's kind of how that started, and then
Oh yeah, so that brings you to Succession, which was your first booking with this new manager.
Yes, that's right.
And so you just raced down in the car,
dude. I literally, as I said, I didn't read her email carefully, and it just like she was like, I was already in Brooklyn in my car when she was like, okay, so it's 5 days. I was like, huh? And I luckily from my years of touring, I have friends all over the country, all over the world that I've always got a couch to crash in pretty much any city.
That's great.
Country, whatever. So I was staying with a friend in Jackson Heights. First day I get in, I'm used to like in the thing, it says like, there'll be a green room. I'm thinking, with the fold out table, where we go and like get some peanuts and stuff. Mm-hmm. I show up, I get my own hotel room on the same floor as like some of the cast.
That's amazing.
It was just
because
again,
we'll
and
it
wasn't like
sometimes.
I don't want to say. And what's that?
We'll get like a closet sometimes.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. But also like
I am.
And that's not what it's about for me. Like in terms of like, but just so that people, because I think for a lot of people it's like, oh, this was overnight. It's like, bro, it was not overnight. Like I've been doing this kind of work since I was a kid, you know what I mean? Like I've been making bad decisions, And
well, like I said, you also have a list of tons of indies and shorts and stuff.
Yeah. So, but I was just like, oh my, and that's why I think since then, specifically up until now, like I'm just so thankful, man, because like it's just so cool,
But it's and that is good that I mean, obviously we should all be grateful, but you were so earned it. You were so natural. I mean, there's another scene in there too, but you so look like you're a part of that world. You're acting with these people as if you really are their colleague. I love how in those first two scenes that we play, both guys have kind of had enough of you. They're like, F off. And
dude, it was the best possible, because you also know, like, you don't know, they might cut you. They might not even use the thing. Not only did they not cut me, Len, the character, got his own Reddit thread. A quote, his name was like shouted out in Vogue as like one of the best lines from that episode, or so, you know what I mean? So it was like the best possible first TV booking. And it just, so it was
to shine in that, because not everyone
shine on the head. They really just like
I'm glad they did shine it. No, but like to stand out in that kind of opportunity isn't so, and that is your performance, because it can easily be forgotten and not even noticed.
Funny thing about that shoot, I don't know if I've told this story publicly.
Tell it.
Which brings in kind of full circle everything we've been talking about on that shoot. So this is what, 2022. One of the first things that happened was one of my fellow co-stars, an older, I think I'm going to say older white gay man, asked me, one of the first things he asked me was, hey, so did you get this role because of your ethnicity? That was the first thing he said to me on set, like in front of everybody.
What?
And I was like, it was one of those moments.
Wait,
like,
who was this?
I'll have to look and find his name. But he got his due by the end of it, because when someone asks you a question like that, often what happens is like in the moment you just don't know what to say, and the comebacks come later. But I could have been like, bro, did you? this is Succession. Look
Yes!
around. Like, yeah, maybe I'm the brown guy here. Like,
That's
but even
good.
if that's true, like, I like to think maybe I'm good. Maybe I
you're
got it because I
talented.
deserve it, you know? But like, funny thing with him is that he fucked up his lines. So he fucked his shit up so bad that he didn't show up the next day after his part because he was like, he claimed that he had COVID. I'm not giving whatever to anybody that actually or was sick or something, but everybody was like, bro, that dude did such a bad job. And again, I'm not like, I don't want people to do, this is not the kind of person I am. I'm not like, but like, I'm just
who
saying
else
that,
said
like,
crappy things? Bring it out.
but yeah, I'm just telling that story because despite that, you know, these things aren't fully gone, you know what I mean? And then to go from that to, again, we will talk about Deli Boys, but I'm just saying that like, even while cool, amazing things happens, like shit like that can still happen, you know, and just kind of, you know.
And I can't imagine there's going to be any big changes in that way anytime soon.
Well, but there are. I think like
there's
we're
been steps.
making the stuff. Yeah.
Silly people.
Yeah.
What's his name?
We'll find it in the credits.
We'll find it in the credits.
Yeah, I repressed it. Yeah.
So Aftermath, you said you booked before this.
Yes.
And you shot. I'm sorry, you shot it before this.
Shot it before this. Yeah.
Okay.
Shot it literally like I think May of that year, and then Succession was the shoot was like November, October, November.
Do you have any sense that Aftermath would be such a big deal?
No, dude. Again, we had no idea what happened. Like the movie was made. It was a huge deal in Boston. It was a big ass action movie. Again, that was my first time with lines. First day on
you
set.
Kill it,
dude.
Those
first
are two
day
big
I
scenes.
show up again. I like. There's. I assume that I'm. You know, I just go to the background area. I see this other guy who's wearing the same costume that I have, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm your double." I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
Weird.
And then they take me to a trailer, and I'm like, "What?" You know. And then I get onto the set. They hand me a gun. The very first thing I ever did on that movie is like there's a thing where I shoot a gun.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I'm just like, all right, this is what's happening now. And the director, Patrick, who's a legend guy himself, Patrick Lucier, he spent some time with me. He was like, dude, I'm telling you, actually, your character, Ozzy, is one of my favorites in this movie. And I knew that he wasn't like bullshitting me.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, dude, it was insane.
I had no idea what this was.
But yeah, it went away. Sorry, this is what you had asked me. So
yeah,
they made it. Nobody heard anything about it. There was no marketing. No one knew if it was ever going to come out. They didn't do a premiere. Eventually, we heard. So I remained friends with the director, Patrick. We hung out a bunch when I'd go to LA and stuff. And he was like, then I, eventually like a trailer just sort of dropped, and it was out. And then I was
like 2.5 years later, right?
Yeah. Because so 2020, the trailer dropped last year, 2024. So 2.5 years later, just all of a sudden it's out. And then again, he's like, yeah, so it's going to come to like one theater in Poland, Uganda, and the UK, and like one theater on Staten Island or something. So I just had a watch party with some friends,
on Staten Island.
No, just here in Massachusetts. So like we just like it came out, we rented it, and he was like, yeah, it'll live on Netflix eventually. So we just thought it would go away. February comes around, it becomes the #1 movie on Netflix in the US, UK, and Australia.
Oh, so it sat there a little bit before it really caught on. Is that correct?
No. After its debut. So no.
Okay.
It was rentable, basically. Like you could rent them first, and then it moved to Netflix.
Okay.
And then it was #3 on the planet for like and then there was articles about like, how did this like random ass movie break the model? Because there was no
Your
marketing.
friend, the director, must have been so psyched.
Everybody was psyched. The writer of the film was also a good friend of mine now, Nathan Graham Davis. He like signed back onto Facebook to be like, he was the one that he like screenshotted. He was like, hey, just I'm not sure if I'm seeing this correctly, but our movie is #2 right now. Like, so. And that's the one that people, dude, I went to an NA meeting and this lady came up to me. She's like, hey, were you in that movie? Hey, did I just see you in a... And that was the first time that ever happened to me.
Your character is so prominent.
Yeah.
And funny. Like he's like the comic relief in a way, like seriously comic.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the whole thing, so I didn't see the gun part,
So
unfortunately.
it's
but
okay. Yeah. But no, man.
no
Again, I've
offense.
been very fortunate to just like. It's taken a long time, but in a sense, it does feel earned in that way. It's not like,
Absolutely.
you know, in a sense, music for me was kind of a little bit. It just sort of happened before we were ready for it. In this
Yeah.
sense, I feel like, you know, a little bit more just like
You were ready to meet the opportunities when they finally presented themselves, and you made them happen because you pursued the manager and which led to each thing.
For sure.
Now I want to talk about this opportunity, Deli Boys. How did that come about, and what does that become for you?
So Deli Boys, basically, so my oldest friend in the world, Abdullah Saeed, like our grandparents knew each other before we were born. He is the writer and creator of the show.
Okay.
That being said, that doesn't mean that that's how I got the part. I did.
Liar.
I was in his. So I read the first draft of the show way back. So, you know, we work on music together. We send each other stuff. And so the coolest part for me is seeing this idea actually come to fruition for him. That being said, they made the pilot, if it's impossible to make a thing, get it picked up, and it's just insane. So he had setback after setback. It took him 5+ years to actually, from draft to actually having it picked up. They made a pilot, the pandemic, the strike happened. So it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And then all of a sudden, the only reason that I found out that it was coming back, and I had my manager, Melissa, on it looking for roles and stuff.
Sure.
And there was nothing in breakdowns. And the only way that we found out that it was coming back was one of the actors, the lead actor, Asif, posted, "Hey, back in Chicago." So I was like, "Bro, we got to get an audition." So,
and were you saying to her, "I have a connection kind of to the show"?
No, well, I was, but she was like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, he may have at some point been like, "Hey," but 2 years earlier, Tim at Model Club got me an audition for the main character, which I wasn't, this was like,
but how great he got that for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that was, years before. It wasn't even the same casting people or whatever. And then Melissa sold me as a Chicago local. That's the only way that I got the audition. So it was cheaper. Yeah, I know, right? So then I just crashed with friends, while I was there doing it.
You were happy to do.
So yeah, hell yeah.
And what was your character? Because I just gave
it a
brief
gangster
taste there.
I named Ali Sahir. He's essentially, if anybody's seen The Sopranos, he's basically like a capo of this drug dealing. The show is about these two hapless idiot brothers who think that their family business is delis, bodegas. Their father dies in a freak accident, and they become the sort of unwilling heirs to the throne. But then there's a power struggle because there's a dark side of the family with, Uncle Paulie and Chris Moltisanti type characters. So I'm essentially like one of the capo folks in the family, and it's a super cool. Was supposed to just be a minor co-star, but they got the four of our gang together and then wrote us all into more episodes, and it was a dream scenario.
What a dream!
We're
that doesn't happen either. That doesn't happen.
And it doesn't. And so, like, maybe we'll get another season, maybe not. If not, and I say this completely earnestly, if I never get to work again, man, that is everything I ever wanted to do.
I get that. I totally understand that.
So
you are so good. I'm not just saying this, and I haven't actually, and I'll be honest, I've not finished the show, but I've seen you in a few episodes.
Again, it's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
I know I have to finish the podcast too. That's 7 hours. No, but you're so good. You are so good in this, and that is the briefest clip I found. But you're so amazing in it, and everyone's got to check this out and beat me to finishing it. And it's not. I'm just not a big TV dude, so it's always hard for me to get through TV. I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
But
like you don't watch a lot of TV,
even though my wife
you're just like on all this TV, and then you're like, yeah, I'm not really.
I don't watch anything I'm in. No offense to anyone. I get my clips, but no, I just don't enjoy TV.
I think I'm the other way around now. I like them both.
That's shameful.
I know.
Movies are where it's at.
This is what they tell me.
Well, I understand you have potentially Deli Boys. Do you have any inkling of rumblings of maybe or just nothing?
Man, not yet. I mean, they extended the hold period. I think they were originally supposed to tell us in May, and then I think it got extended to September. So we'll see.
Big congrats on that. It's
Thanks,
so
man.
Awesome. Do you find, because for a lot of us, it's been quite sparse since the strike. How are things for you?
I am not looking right now. I'm just focusing on music. I literally told my whole team, I was like, hey, listen, don't fire me, but this gig with Pyle is a dream of mine. So I just have to do this for 4 months.
And I'm
It's
sure
actually,
they get it.
yeah, they're like, yeah, do that. It's fine. I actually
And
got
maybe there'll be a
3 of
business
my,
to come back to by then.
you never know. So, but you know, I got a couple of friends signed with my manager. So I just was like a little parting gift for them. So well, I'm literally, it's cool to just be like, no, man, I wanted, and then there's a couple of things that friends have written for me, like a couple of indie films. So hopefully once I come back, I'll have one, like a lead role in one, and then, but they're kind of in the financing process. So it's not like quite there yet, but yeah, I know, right? Who needs money?
But you are, you've had some awesome opportunities. You're an absolute up and comer. I mean, not that that's something, like you said, you've worked.
No, I
your
still
dream
consider
jobs.
myself a up and comer, man. I mean, it's,
and not as far as acting ability, but as opportunities coming your way. There's going to be some huge stuff if you want to come back to it after Pyle. And
I for sure, man. I'm not joined. I am a fill-in. They have, you know,
okay.
I'm not like,
if all your planes successfully land, sorry, they will. They're gonna.
Yeah.
So this brings me back to your kiss and tell.
All right.
And you shared the word stoner with us. What is your kiss and tell?
I was going to talk about back before I again, as you can tell, sobriety is a huge part of my life, and I'm very open about it. Before, when I was sort of dreaming of maybe possibly acting and auditioning and stuff, like after, you know, high school and stuff, I would get really high and submit to different like auditions. Back in the day, there was a company in Waltham, Moody Street Pictures, or like Craigslist or something like.
Sure.
And one time I lied and said that I spoke French. I do not speak French in any way, shape, or form. And I'll never forget this because I just figured I'd figure it out. I got super fucked up, and I showed up to this person's like apartment on Com Ave. And you know, this was like audition camera or whatever, and they handed me a script. And dude, I couldn't. I just like pretended to read I couldn't read the French at all. And these people were like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? Like,
do you know what the project was?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was just some like local indie something or whatever.
Was it Bloody Back? Never.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why I don't know why that stood out to me as like a kiss and tell.
In the moment, did you realize, oh man, I'm screwing up? Or was it after you're like, oh my God, I can't believe
I think the whole time, but I just was such a stoner that like I just didn't care until all of a sudden I just had like a anxiety attack, like as it was happening.
Oh God.
Yeah. I have a lot of
so sorry. Or
yeah. And then I just like left and walked out, and it was horrible. So yeah.
I'm sorry. I had an early, this is not at all the same. There were people in my family that were big stoners. So I was like, I don't want to do that. But I was at this audition. It was a commercial audition in LA, one of my first. And they're like, okay, you're going to be the hero and you'll be these other characters. So I'm like, oh, the hero. Okay. I was just being a dummy. And I go in there like, are you Mr. Goodyear? And like, I'm acting like Superman and all these things. I didn't realize they meant hero as in like play the, you know, the lead. You're the lead dude in the commercial. And I was so dumb and so embarrassing. And I'm sure they watched that tape for years going, look at this guy pretending to be a superhero. And we just meant like the hero.
Wow.
It was really dumb.
I know. Yeah.
But I should have done it stone and it would have been better.
Definitely.
Now, do you have any advice, anything you wish you had known other than not smoking a lot of pot before auditioning and not saying that you speak French when you don't? But do you have any advice that someone could use in the business, you know, coming up? Something that you wish you had known?
I think one of the best pieces of advice my uncle ever gave me, my uncle Zahid, was like, you know, make sure that like you're always redefining success for yourself, and don't, and that I think that holds true in a lot of different ways. In just that, like, you don't have to be like one thing, and it's like it's cool if like things don't work out, and you're gonna learn from it. You know, I don't know if that's like super basic. But I think that may be one of the best pieces of advice. And this was during it was a really rough period in my life. As you can imagine, I've had a few of those. So he was.
And you've come out of it great.
But yeah, he was just, and he said that to me, and at the time, I couldn't really understand what he meant. But I think that's something, and I think it's true of me as an artist. That's something that I always. I joke around that I'm lazy and blah blah blah, but really, I mean, I'm pretty ambitious and like I do take risks and stuff. And
yeah, and then kind of roll with. Don't get bogged down in any sort of melodrama or any sort of
Yeah.
So no, that's good advice. Do you, when you're on set, do you have any hocus pocus, anything that you do to get comfortable, or anything you need to do before you hop on a set?
No.
Or onto stage playing music?
No. I mean, stage probably just some like. I like to eat fruit.
Okay.
Because I'm a very like sweaty performer, so I jump around a lot. But I don't have like a specific thing that I do in that.
Okay,
sense.
now like walk around the stage backwards 4 times.
No, or just show up as the person already and not be able to get out of character or whatever. No, I don't have anything like that.
Okay.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, not at all. Do you have a dream opportunity? I know you said you've kind of lived your dream opportunities. You're doing this thing with Pyle. You've done Deli Boys. Is there anything else would be either to work with a dream person or a dream opportunity?
Yeah, I think I would love to be like a lead or like supporting kind of in like a big major something, Yeah. I think that's something to be doing.
Well, that was so wide open. I think that's going to happen. If it got more specific, we'll see, but not by any certain director or anything, just like be a lead in a big movie or something.
I mean, that's kind of all I want. I just want to keep doing the fun stuff. I don't, like it's not, I don't, in that sense, I have been able to do a lot of the things basically everything I dreamed of as a kid. It's already happened.
That's amazing.
So in terms of like stuff that's left, I think that's, I would probably, you know what? I would like to definitely write something, I don't know that I'm gonna, it's not like pressure anymore on me to be like, I got to do it.
You're going to be on the road with a lot of downtime.
Yeah. So I definitely will have.
On planes. Yeah. I'm going to, you have to do it. I'm telling you, Uncle Ian says, get writing on your way to other gigs.
Absolutely.
And anything you want to promote before we go away? Anything you want to say, hey, check this out or anything?
I guess just if you are curious to keep up with me, I am active on Instagram. That's the only one that I'm on.
What's your handle?
Shahjehan, Shahjistan.
Okay.
I'm about to be on an episode of the show For All Mankind. One small part,
right?
Say again.
A space show on Apple.
Yes, space show on Apple.
And there's no small parts.
And then, of course.
Come on.
And then just come to see Pyle, man. Pyle is such a good band. If you live in the US or one of 13 countries, go to Pyle Music or pylemusic.band or Pyle, just Google Pyle the band and come to one of those shows. They're awesome. I'm so lucky to play with this band.
And play a Mortal Kombat game, right?
Yes. Do that too.
Okay. There he is in a Mortal Kombat game. But yeah, check him out on Instagram. Go see him in Pyle and check out the website. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been awesome to have you. And everyone like, share, comment, and we'll see you next time. Hang out for 1 second, Shahjehan. And goodbye, everyone else.